This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zappos, the home for the Cougar Coaches Show, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Matt Chazanow.
It is that time of the week. It's that time of the year. It's great to be here with Coach Smith. We're talking ball at Zappos. And it's been too long, Coach. It's been too long since we've been here live talking buckets. It's great to see you.
No, great to be here.
Thanks for throwing a headset on. We got to go look at the friendly faces here at Zappos. It's great to see everybody.
This is nice. Good crowd.
Yeah,
good turnout.
now I never take it for granted anymore, ever again.
No.
Not that we're going to go talk. I don't want to harp on it, but anyway.
I got you.
Hey, listen, we've got a whole year to recap. You know, this is our first show, so this has been a winding road. It starts in the infirmary report, because that's the story of this year, quite honestly. It's one of the best 6 and 9 teams. A lot of the data backs this up, too. It's one of the most talented, gifted, and qualitative 6 and 9 teams you'll ever find, because it's just been a shuffle on the chessboard. The pieces have been removed.
Yeah, twofold. I mean, obviously we've had some injuries and some guys that were sidelined for the season, and then we've had Andre and Jabe that missed a lot of time. But we also we took on a very ambitious schedule by design. Thinking we'd have all those guys, but we've been getting better. Had a good weekend, and hopefully we can keep persevering.
Let's talk about getting better, because you just beat a really good USC team. Beat them by 10 in Beasley. That must have felt really good. First win over USC in a long time.
But we've been knocking on that door the last 3 times we played them. I think have been really close. And both games last year, gosh darn, we gave it away. The last possessions of both games, we definitely had better opportunity to win down there. I thought we outplayed them the whole game, and they got it done. Throwing a little zone at us late, I remember, and we were ready for it this time, I thought, and played pretty well. And now they're going to win a lot of games. They'd won 7 in a row going in. They got good talent, and that was really good for our team, I think.
Take me back to November a little bit. There's 19 threes against Detroit Mercy. There's a really big win over Eastern Washington. There's a really tough game in Waller, Texas, Prairie View A&M.
Yes.
And now where this team is at this point.
I think they know themselves a little bit better. Just when we lost Jabe early on, we lose that after.
He missed a month or 4 games.
He missed 4 games, and Andre's had this bad. After our first scrimmage, we lost him. So it's been a little trial and error with some guys, and getting some young guys some experience, but I feel like we finally this weekend hopefully solidified kind of our rotation. The 8 guys are seeing a lot of time. 9 and 10, they kind of know who they are, and that sometimes that helps. And it usually happens a little earlier when you're healthy, and maybe 5-6 games in the season kind of get it. But it's taken a while. But I think we're playing pretty well.
I know the vision from the jump. And part of what you told me about what your goal was in all this required guys to get better at the scheme, the system in practice, the way you want to implement some of the data, the way you want some of the guys to understand what to do. And you want to be old.
Yeah.
And DJ Rodman of the last 2-3 weeks maybe exemplifies that better than anybody. A guy who's improved a ton. TJ Bamba maybe to some degree also, but the older guys.
I think the guys that have really stayed in the program and committed themselves to being good have really blossomed. And like I said, coming in this year, we had 7 returners, and I felt really good about our front court. You're looking at Bamba, Mo, Deshaun probably have been your starting 3, 4, and 5, which means, or maybe Bamba at the 2 and Andre at the 3, and Rodman not even starting or whatever. Always good there. Felt we were really good there. Plus, you had Carlos Rosario coming off with season-ending injury for the 2nd straight year, but a really good teammate, really good, and good talents, had good years. And Miles Rice, who were very talented young guard, who was stricken with the Hodgkin's or non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and so those 7. So we lose Deshaun, Miles, so we lost. So we're down to 3 for there. So, but now that we've got the good chunk of 5 guys, like I said, they're older, mature, and even had a really. I was talking with Dylan Darling's been struggling a little bit, and trying to get his confidence going and tell him it's going. And right after I did that, DJ pulled him aside and said, "Hey, man, this happened to me as a freshman summer before. We thought when DJ's had a really good career thus far, and he's really coming into his own lately, but he really showed signs going his freshman year, and we were pretty green and new, and projected him as a starter. And then, boy, when school hit and the commit, he struggled, and he just kind of said, 'Hey, Dylan, man,
This is DJ or TJ?
DJ Rodman.
Okay. Yeah.
TJ could work too. It took him a while too. And so it's just neat to see that that's how the program's supposed to work. The older guys are supposed to let the younger guys, this is how it is, hang in there, give them a good role model to do it. And I know we had the guys that stayed in the program, and the 7 guys, they've been great that way. So it stinks that we didn't have them for those, at least 6 out of 7 most of the way. But we got down to 3 out of 7 there for a stretch, and that's that's unfair to some of those young guys. Put them in positions where they've got to make plays when they haven't had. And it was against a really tough schedule, as you know.
Well, you've had moments where you have required plus play from Winsu, Darling, and Jong.
Yep.
And that's a big difference from Mullins, Yakimovsky, and Jackson, guys who are have done it for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Mullins and Powell are third-year college guys. They had up and down success, and and they were young guys in other programs, and they've benefited from having these opportunities and already gone through some of those hardships. So they're good role models. So it just in with COVID, the COVID year, and we've run into some teams that are starting 2 6-year seniors, and that's just a little weird.
It's bizarre.
I mean, that's 24-year-old guys going against Dylan's just 18. So
sure.
That's 25% older, whatever it is. So or 33%, 6 years. That's a big difference. But we'll get there.
Try. I mean, you're hitting there. Muhammad, the guy who's been, 2 guys really who've been steady the whole time, and that's an understatement, to be honest. Muhammad Gay and TJ Bamba. Bamba's 8th in the pack in scoring, and Muhammad Gay had 18 points and 18 boards against UCLA, and he's been that kind of guy. He had a bit of a couple of stumbles early on this year, but he seems to have figured it out right now.
People, think that because you look at him and the expectation's so high.
Right.
And I'm like, he averaged 7 points and 5 rebounds as a freshman.
Yeah.
And he was arguably the best freshman. That's just how hard it is. I mean, he went through the draft process, and he should have. I mean, he looks and he has a lot of NBA qualities. And then to go from being where last year really kind of 1 of 3 front court guys with Deshaun, F.A., and him. Now he's without Deshaun, he's kind of the main guy and having to be keyed on, doubled. He's seen every defensive coverage, and we haven't had a lot of home games. I think his numbers at home have been really good, which is normal for most guys. But having to be a lead guy on the scout, on the road, on neutrals against good teams, and he's stayed the course, man. He just keeps getting better and better.
Am I correct to say and infer Joshua Morgan, who's one of the nation's leading shot blockers, tied for, I think, 3rd coming into the game, USC's big man.
Yeah.
Was that the only team that you played that didn't double Muhammad every time down low?
UCLA didn't really.
They kept it okay.
They kept it pretty, but this weekend he had 18 and 18.
Maybe they should have.
He had 18. So there was a stretch there where we ran into UNLV, Northern Kentucky, Baylor.
Yeah, Prairie View did it.
Prairie View, just everyone bring in. So
it was like triple.
Yeah, no, it's like so they swarm them, and that's something to get used to. He didn't have to. That wasn't an issue last year. So, and we worked at it, and he's just hadn't played as much basketball as guys, and he's just getting better, and he's got a really good mindset, and encourage everyone to. You've been around him, and he's
great.
Just a really wonderful. Both these guys are just really wonderful people, and really proud to be associated with them.
So I had a really fun 90 minutes, 2 hours at the walkthrough for the UCLA game because I spent it with Bill Walton.
Oh, that's great.
It was great, and so we sat there, and he wanted to. He's really prepped. I mean, he knows exactly what's going on. He certainly, obviously, knows all the league history. He is the league history.
Yes.
And it was really fun to talk to him. But he asked me an interesting question that I didn't know the answer to about Adrame.
Yeah.
And maybe for Muhammad as well. I'm not sure. He goes, did he play the game? Has he played the game his whole life? How many years has he played the sport at all?
No.
And I said, it's rare that they're childhood basketball players. And that's my understanding and assumption. But as a
they're both soccer players.
That's right. That's okay. So that is
no, and I think that's a good sport for passing and vision. Both of them have really good. Ironically, they both claim that they're center midfielders or they're 7 foot. I mean, come on, which they do kind of play that way.
In layup lines last game, Gay dribbled with his feet. Soccer.
They do this all the time,
and then popped it up in the air and then dunked it.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's
he
awesome.
went pop pop and dunked it. It was
great. That's when you get some
video.
Footage. The video.
Yeah, really.
Content.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, they didn't, and that's and I'd really. all three of those young men, they're Senegalese. Bamba is half Bronx, half Senegal.
Right.
But they're just the culture, at least in my limited sample size, but I think is pretty consistent. They're just humble, really quality people to be around, and then they do play soccer. And soccer is more of a selfless passing game, and they and trying to get Muhammad to be more aggressive and assertive about scoring and trying to score the ball, and he's coming along. He's doing great.
Were they locked in the World Cup? They must have been.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I know you were.
Oh, yeah.
I know the team was.
Kamani on day of the game was we played Baylor. Yeah, I watched it too. Yeah. And Andrew's, I think John took a Xanax. He was so wound up. He was watching. He's rooting for Argentina. Right. I'm sitting there rooting for France. I don't tell Kamani that he was rooting for Argentina, but we were both kind of texting each other. I was like, gosh, I got to get focused on Baylor, but this is once every 4 years. It's such a competitive situation. It was definitely our international guys were. And you know what? I've noticed this happened about 2 World Cups ago when I was at Columbia. I noticed that these kids, they follow soccer. Yeah. Not like I don't know if you did.
Yeah.
You
sure.
did?
Yeah. I mean, to some degree. It was big in the Northeast.
Premier League?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'll catch them watching Premier League stuff. No. They're legitimately. We had a kid, Isaac Cohen, was from Florida. I was like, what? And I caught him and Mato Lo, who was a German Senegalese guy, and they were watching Saturday morning Premier League stuff. And I was like,
They wasn't even on.
I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Yeah. And they definitely, it's definitely a real thing that soccer has finally the roots have been planted, I think.
We'll get back to hoops in just a moment. I'll take a break. But I went to, on my birthday, my sister was studying abroad in London. I went to a Fulham match.
Oh, cool.
It was awesome. And we sat right behind it. Actually, it was Clint Dempsey. It was against Everton. So it was Clint Dempsey against Tim Howard.
Wow.
So it's the two best UCU American players in EPL.
Played middle of the ladder there, whatever.
It was really cool. At the time, Fulham was they were good. They weren't great, and I don't follow it that closely, but they were good. Like it was packed. And it was really cool. It was really fun. So it's a whole deal. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Take a break. Come back. I think we got stuff on Twitter, which we'll do the whole deal. We got trivia, which is a lot of anticipation for trivia. We'll get Rocco involved in trivia, maybe. Is that?
Yeah, that's why I brought him in here. He's a ringer. Yeah, he's a young 14-year-old
encyclopedia. That's right. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. We're live here at Zeppo's Talking Ball with Coach Smith.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I think you...
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender member FDIC.
Hey, Kook fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
You're listening to Cougar Basketball on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. This is Cougar Basketball.
Gay, look back, hammer time in Beasley. Bubba icing on the cake, layup on the break, and the foul.
Tune in all season long as Kyle Smith and the Cougs look to make more noise in the Pac-12.
Has the ball to pick up, finds Mullen, three for the win. He got it from the left wing lead. 3.1 seconds left.
It's only on your home for Cougar Basketball, the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Your one-stop for all college sports is the Varsity app and the brand new Varsity Network website, thevarsitynetwork.com. Keep up with your favorite teams and the rest of college sports, no matter where you are, with thevarsitynetwork.com. Live and on-demand broadcasts, your favorite college-centric podcasts, with stories and video around college sports and your favorite teams. Be sure to download the Varsity app and check out the brand new Varsity Network website, thevarsitynetwork.com.
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step.
Back at it live here at Zeppo's talking ball with Coach Smith as the Cougs are ready to take on Arizona State. And Arizona are getting ready. We got the Desert Schools this week, travel tomorrow, and then a Thursday game. I've got it as a 5 p.m. tip against the Sun Devils Pacific, so local 6 o'clock. With the time change. Cougs against a really good Arizona State team. They're 11-3. They're 2-1. So we'll get into the preview for ASU and the U of A. You went into a really difficult game against UNLV in Vegas. Had a single-digit ball game there. You had a 1-2 possession game against one of the best teams in the country against Baylor. You got the game winner from Mullins in the first one against George Washington at Hawaii. And then you played a Utah State team that's not a national household name. By the way, Hawaii, which is a really good squad, and picked they're picked to come in second in the Big West. They could win that league dance, and then Utah State for sure could win the Mountain West and be projected. I mean, this has been a grinder.
It has.
It's
a
full deal.
And, would have liked, like I said, fully healthy would have been a little more fun.
Well, you tell me if I'm wrong on this, but you beat BYU last year in the NIT because of Deshaun. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
He won that game for you.
We were finally kind of getting healthy in the NIT. It took forever. We were banged up last year. Deshaun and FA. FA was really limited all year as far as just being able to practice once a week. Deshaun had the eye surgery.
Right.
So when we finally got those two back plus Muhammad, we were pretty impressive on inside. Our defense, our shot blocking was amazing. Our offensive rebound was amazing. Our low post scoring. And that was 2 sophomores and a freshman, know. So, Deshaun's an important piece.
No doubt, yeah. And then when you've got Gay coming out and Deshaun's still there, it's a complete rim protection.
It's a different team.
Right.
It's a different team a different way. But that's okay. I mean, but it would have been a little more pound and ground.
All right, I'm going to ask you a data question. All right, so I can't totally wrap my head around it, and I don't. It's an odd.
Neither could Jim. You guys are asking this thing.
It's an odd stat. All right, so in the pack, so we're looking at the Cougs this year, right? Cougs are 6-9, and what is misleading about this? Well, the roster is changing time to time, so it's different now with Yakimovsky. That's the caveat.
Sure.
You are you're averaging about 70 points a game, 69, 8th in the pack. That's fine. Scoring defense, 65, 7th in the pack. Well, listen, that's okay, right? Field goal percentage D, low, right, 45. But your rebounding defense, not defensive rebounding. This is a stat that indicates the amount of rebounds you allow the other team to have. You are number 1 in the pack in terms of rebounds allowed per game.
I don't know what that means.
I can't wrap my head around it.
That just means there's not a lot of rebounds.
Right, but in terms of defensive rebounding, you're low, but offensive rebounding, you're really good. 4th in the pack, and because Muhammad's number 1 in the pack.
You're just talking total numbers here.
These are total numbers. These are per game.
I think our pace of play is pretty slow.
Okay.
We should have more defensive rebounds because we don't force any turnovers.
Right. Well,
we haven't been good offensive. We've been not a good defensive rebounding team.
It's interesting. It's just an odd.
I don't know.
It's an odd.
You're the only one. It's a stat don't care about, nor understand.
All right, we'll throw it away.
And I like stats. That one, toss that one out.
I'll burn it. All right, we'll burn it.
I'm still not sure what it is, actually, what you asked me. But
rebound, I don't really get it either, but it's a stat that the pack tracks, and it's on this sheet.
Just look at the palm. Where are we ranked nationally rebounding-wise?
I don't have the answer for that off my head.
It's going to depress me when we look at how we're giving up way too many offensive rebounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're 70 right now in Ken Palm, which you're
is that combined or just defensive rebounding?
That's just your total overall deal, right? With St. John's and Ole Miss.
That's not terrible because we were a little thin. We needed Deshaun.
No doubt. No, it was 6. Well, it's really indicative of how hard the schedule's been.
That too. But I mean, I think actually Palm might factor that in.
I think he does. Well, that's kind of my point because their record. Because St. John's is 11-4.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss is 8-5.
Yeah.
And you're right smack in between those two.
Yeah.
So
it's all going to work out in the wash and. Just don't like being below 500. Certainly 3 games below 500.
For sure. No, I know that's not the goal. But huge opportunity this week. You go on the road. These are quad 1 games. You're going to play Arizona State and Arizona. And that's a net thing. The quad's not Ken Palm, but that's net.
Yeah.
But very much it's integral to what.
Can I tell you something about the quad 1s?
Please.
I've got this guy that's in my ear every night because he was on the bench for only quad 1 wins last year.
Tell me about it.
He's sitting right over there.
Right.
And he's been lobbying hard to get on the road, but unfortunately, his English teacher, Miss Jones, has had some issues with him.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, we got to get the books right.
So it cost him some trips.
Okay.
Which might in turn cost the Cougs. Because we were playing well, but he's got to handle academics first, man.
We got to get him and Miss Jones on the same page so that the Cougs.
It's Miss Jones, right?
Yeah,
she's a Coug fan too.
I bet she is. Yeah, who's not?
No. She's a basketball fan. She's a season ticket holder, I think, and she's a really nice person. They have a good relationship, but he just has to do a better job in class.
I love it. And for those listening, this is Rocco Smith.
Oh yeah, my son.
This is Coach's
14-year-old son.
Coach's son. Well, we need to get you on the road, Rocco, for sure. Arizona State.
Very good.
Tell me about it. Bobby Hurley's squad.
Very much, they have an identity, and it's very much like Bobby's good teams he's had. They're very quick, good guards that can score. They'll pressure. They really, their brand is they try to call themselves Guard U. Right. He's kind of struck gold, I think, in the portal. He's got the Cambridge brothers. I said, I told this story to someone. I don't know, it could have been you. No, it was a press conference. Cambridge was offered to me, or someone passed on. The Vanderbilt assistant told me to recruit him. He's a really good student. I was a head coach at Columbia 2 jobs ago, and now he's playing his 6th year.
Oh, right.
And so it's unbelievable. So it's right before he left.
Time.
I took the San Francisco job a couple weeks later, but it's like, good Lord.
Yeah.
He's still playing.
Right.
And his younger brother, so they're old. Those guys are good. Warren Washington, I think, is on his 3rd school.
I think that sounds right.
He's on his 3rd school.
Yeah.
He played with Jack Wilson at Oregon State.
Is that right?
Yep.
That's where I know Warren Washington.
He was at Oregon State. He's Oregon State, Nevada. Now he's back to Arizona State for his last year. So they're old. They're quick. DJ Horn's returning guard, and then their point guard transfer from Michigan. I think they struck gold there, too, with Frankie Collins. So their starting group's one of the best in the country as far as their 5-man, data as far as playing together. So quick, good, put together really well. Be a really tough team.
So it's going to be hard to hold them to 29.
Jeez.
I
can't believe you brought that up. I mean, Coach Rowe will work for Bobby Hurley. He knows Bobby's pounding it every day. What happened last year?
My favorite game. That is my favorite game I've ever called in all of the basketball games. It was 18-10 at the half.
And is that what it was? It felt like
never forget it.
It was a grimy grinder.
It went from each team's cold to this is incredible. Like this is
it was wild. And I'm like, we're guarding great, and then I'm like, gosh, we can't make a basket either. But 18, we almost doubled them up.
It was amazing.
It was 51-29. We beat, and everyone was mad. And I was like, we won by 22 on the road.
Right. I remember that.
That's hard to do.
I call it Jackson Pollock.
Fair.
It's beautiful in its own way.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, our best team last year probably was an ugly ball team, as we like to refer to it.
You were excruciating to score on between Efe and Deshaun.
Weren't the smoothest offensive team, but when we put it up on the rim, we would go get it. And that's kind of where we really, in the NIT run, that's what we were.
Right.
And I got away from it a little bit in that A&M game, and would like to have that one back.
Sure. Hey, I don't want to forget before we move on, because we'll talk a little bit Arizona.
Sure.
We won't get a chance to talk until next week. But listen, it was a gut punch. But for 38 minutes, you were better than UCLA. I mean, you lost by 1 point, except for 2 minutes in that ball game. You were the better squad. You didn't score field goals late. There's no doubt, but you still were up. You still were up in that game. It was a really
know what? It was. We've rehashed it a few times and don't want to go backwards too much. But DJ picked up his 4th foul. He was playing an unbelievable game. And our zone was not great. We've given up like 8 points in the zone in like 4 possessions. And it's either stay with DJ and go zone. And I said, you know what, let's go with Drame and let's make sure we get a rebound. Drame and Mo out there together. And we had a couple possessions. We didn't execute well. They switched their defense and we didn't execute well. But I want to go on right. Singleton ran over Bamba when we're up 3 with 2 minutes.
For the record, for what it's worth, I called that live.
Yeah.
I said, David Singleton, almost targeted, football targeted.
Yes, it could have been.
He's
out for the first half of the next game.
Ejected for that.
It was targeting.
He went
for sure.
shoulder to shoulder to upper. Yeah, there's no doubt.
You need that whistle. Yeah, we're definitely struggling to score, and they're really good.
Yeah.
But up 5 with 2, and set our defense, and just couldn't. And we turned it over twice late, and it just the nerves got to us a little bit. And they got some old guys, and we got to remember that, and get better for the future.
Drame against Hawaii had 8 boards in 14 minutes. These are the last 4 games. He didn't play a ton against Utah State. Might have not have been a great matchup for him against Utah State.
It was a tough one. It was a tough one.
And then UCLA, he had his first blocks of his career, and he had 3 of them against the Bruins.
It's crazy that he hasn't had blocks in games. He's had a couple goals. I mean, he's a really good shot blocker.
Right.
I watch practice. And
well, it feels like he's figuring it out.
Yeah, no, he's so quick.
It's kind of my point. Yeah.
No, he's so quick. His feet are so quick. His hands are quick. He's long. And you can see his defensive talent. And he has a decent feel offensively. He's just such a young guy. And obviously he's very thin.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
doesn't affect him on the defensive end.
No, it's tough,
because he's physical. He's a little more physical than Mo. Don't tell Mo I said that. But he'll scrap a little harder, and then it's more on the offensive end where it's just hard for him to make a move on a big guy to stay on balance and stuff. Like Jabe threw him a big time pass in that UCLA game, and he gathered it. It's just Bona got there, and it's just hard to finish over him. He blocked it, But, you can see the potential there for sure.
Hey, earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest. More slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. We need to take a break. We'll do it. We've got trivia coming up next. Live here at Zeppo's Talking Ball with Coach Smith.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
There's always time for the drive-thru deal. Because no matter how fast you are at making breakfast, McDonald's is faster.
Nothing fits your morning routine like your favorite breakfast. From a sausage McMuffin to a sausage burrito to those crisp, flaky, fluffy hash browns. Mix and match them every day with buy one, get one for $1. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Your home for Cougar basketball.
Deep 3 bucket. Rise and a crush.
The Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 50 daily departures to 20 nonstop destinations provided by 6 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show.
Drives in and hammers a baseline rocket.
Live from Zeppo's with Cougar head coach Kyle Smith, here's the voice of the Cougs, Matt Chesanow.
Back here live at Zeppo's, we're talking ball with Coach Smith. It's the Cougs coming up for the desert trip against Arizona State in Arizona. It's Tempe and Tucson. But fire up the music, Luke. We've got ourselves trivia.
Oh, Lord.
High tension. There it is. All right, high drama, high tension. It's just a huge situation here, Coach. We got 5 questions.
Okay.
I almost botched it. I created 4, but I made a 5th. Don't worry. I made a 5th. All right. We're going to start with a couple basketball. I know they're not your favorite. We'll end non-basketball.
All right.
But we'll start with basketball. All right. On November 25th, this is just a general 3-point question.
Okay.
On November 25th, this basketball season, Cougs set a new school record, 19 trays against Detroit Mercy.
Okay.
Nationally, the top 2 single-season individual three-point shooters in history happened to play, pure coincidence, the same league. Different times, same league. So, single-season record for threes. Do you know which league those 2 players played in? Number 1 and number 2 all-time in single-season three-point makes.
Big South.
Really close.
What, Southern?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Is it Fletcher? What's his name?
It's correct. It's spot on. Yeah, Fletcher McGee.
And I don't know, number 2.
That's number 2.
Number 1 all-time three-point?
You know it.
Is it a high major league?
No, it's SoCon. No.
It's SoCon. There you go.
Yeah, they're both SoCon. Yeah, you got it.
They played the same year.
They don't play in that league anymore. No, different
Davidson.
year. Different year. Davidson. Yeah, Steph. Yeah.
Oh, I would have said Steph.
Yeah,
I wouldn't pay. I thought it was like a recent.
No. Steph was. Yeah, correct. Yeah, well done.
I would have
guessed. No, you got it. You got it.
Fletcher's the guy we actually.
That's a hard
Columbia.
One. Yeah. That was the hard one.
Steph seemed pretty obvious.
Yes.
They used. I get confused. Southern SoCon.
Well, they changed.
That's a win.
Check. Yeah, you got it. No, you got it. You give it. Ring him up again, Luke.
Yes.
That's absolutely well earned.
Ballpark. It's like horseshoes.
Correct. That was good. And actually, Steph. So Davidson's now 8-10, but they were SoCon.
Yep. Dominated.
Wofford is still SoCon.
Okay.
But very impressive. Very, very well done. All right, question number 2. There we go. Okay. I like this question, just so you know.
Okay.
I feel good about this. I think you're going to get it, too.
All right.
What fictional animal, a fictitious...
Unicorn.
Close. Maybe not far. What fictitious animal is a mascot for 2 different schools spelled 2 different ways? It's a fake animal. I think you can get it. I do.
Phoenix.
Great guess. It's not, but it's a great guess. Elon Phoenix, but it's
Elon and Green Bay Phoenix.
But they're spelled this. It's not.
I think. Are you sure? Are you 100% sure?
I mean,
it's not really an animal either.
No,
I felt good about the answer.
Good
Again,
guess.
Within range.
All right, give him that. You got to give him a buzzer because that's incorrect.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but you can go. But we'll keep going. You can keep going. Keep going.
Once I spit out unicorn, I don't know another fictitious.
Let me give you a hint.
Another fictitious animal.
Let me give you a hint. All right, your buddy, who you just coached against the Bruins, knows all about it.
The Racers.
No, well, but you missed a school. You skipped
the Bearcats. There's 2 Bearcats.
2 Bearcats.
Let me guess.
There's 2 Bearcats.
Cincinnati and
Sam Houston State Bearcats.
I should have known that.
With a K. With a K.
Yeah,
I see. I knew you knew it. I knew you knew it.
I would never guess that.
Sam Houston. And a Bearcat is fake. It is not a real thing. They've tried to link it.
I believe it.
Not a real thing. At either school.
And you've got to find something better to do with your free time.
Well, I mean, that's true. There's no doubt. It's also true. Okay, let's fire the music up. Which legendary UCLA center broke his back in Beasley?
Walden.
Correct.
Yeah.
In Beasley Coliseum.
Yes.
First time the Bruins ever played in the building.
Yeah, he said that. He'd been there one time since.
So he didn't really recall it. He's called a lot of games.
Yeah.
But he 48 years ago, he was in Beasley. 26 years ago, he was in Beasley to call a game, and now he's back. But
he's lived a big life, amazing. Man. It's hard to remember everything.
It was really fun.
The other most recent trip to Pullman might have been.
I mean, it's a long 96. It was decent.
That is a long time ago.
Decent, and also, I'm sure for him, to be honest, his whole experience here as a broadcaster, you fly in, you do the thing, and you leave. As a player, it was probably very impactful. He hurt his back. It was this very memorable deal. I mean, and I
think everyone remembers Pullman.
That's true, too. Yeah.
I think it's pretty distinct. We're pretty remarkable, man.
In all seriousness, it's funny you say that. In all seriousness, I think that's one of the coolest, like for real, one of the best parts of Pullman.
No doubt.
There's nothing like it. Because you can go to other places. You can go to other college towns and see a lot of things you see in other places. And that's not Washington State University. I love that, for real.
Yep, I agree.
All right, two absolutely random non-basketball questions. We'll go.
You think people are tired of the trivia?
No, I think they love it.
Okay.
I think they absolutely love it. All right. Which snake is the most deadly venom?
Ooh, it's a coral snake.
Inland taipan, apparently, found in Australia. And then real quick, how long has the Guinness Book of World Records been around?
Oh, that's...
and I won't hold you to it, like vaguely.
112 years.
Seriously? Because I thought it was 67. You said that so confidently. I had it at 67.
I I had no idea.
Okay.
It's just a very confident answer.
It's like,
it was
wow.
a very confident.
Like, wait a minute.
You know what? I've known since I was a child. I'm 53, so I just thought it seems like something that's been around forever.
And it was made by very loosely related to Guinness, the beverage.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
everything they do, which is
brilliant. Yeah,
yes,
there you
exactly.
go. Well done. Hey, Washington State University would like to thank Crimson and Gray for their continued support of Coug Athletics. Head to bookstore.com to get the latest in Coug apparel. That's BKSTR.com. Also, way back, I need to on the record state how wildly unfair the trivia question was that I laid on you in our previous show.
Yeah.
It was a disaster of specificity. It was impossible.
And I wasn't even listening.
It was impossible. It was good.
It just kind of went. Once it goes over my head, there's a glaze that comes over my eyes.
That's good.
And I'm like, I hope Chaz is enjoying this.
I was having a good time. Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. Come back, Cougs. We're going to talk Tucson a little bit. One of the best teams in America, the best offensive team by the metrics in America, the Arizona Wildcats this year, really good ball club. Cougs headed to the desert this week, fly tomorrow, play in Tempe, and then in Tucson. We'll take a break, come back live at Zeppo's with Coach.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This is Cougar Basketball from Learfield.
It's time for Northern Quest's $50,000 Cool Cash Hot Seats giveaway, January 12th and 26th. But don't worry, the seats won't literally be hot. I mean, even if they were, it'd be worth it to win your share of $50,000. But they won't be. So just grab a regular seat at your favorite game and play with your Camus Rewards card as usual for your chance to win. Details at northernquest.com.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Floats up to three, got it, drives in, dunks it down, an exclamation point.
With Coach Smith, here's Matt Chazanow.
Back here live at Zeppo's talking ball with Coach Smith as we get set for Arizona State in Arizona. I meant earlier at the top of the show to relay an anecdote that Craig Elo told me, kind of a biographical sentiment that he'd shared. And we were talking about this year's squad and older players, and Yakimovsky was hurt and reintegrated and the whole thing. And Craig said, he was a JUCO transfer, right? Yep. And you and I haven't talked about this. I'm
this is
new. I'm put you on the spot here a little bit. Craig kind of went on a bit of a monologue, passionate one. He really cares very deeply about the Cougs and his experience and all that he's doing here. And he said, look, he really didn't figure it out and didn't realize he didn't have the validation till like middle of his senior year, and he's a 14-year pro.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
He said, junior year, he thought maybe it would work. He was excited. Coach Raveling wanted him, but junior college, he really couldn't tell. He knew he was a big recruit. Baylor wanted him. Texas wanted him. Washington State. He comes here. He's not a starter. He talked to his dad. And he said, hey, maybe
it's too much.
Is this going to work? I don't know about this. His dad says, you're going back there. Goes back. Glad he did. It's all. But then he got benched one game, and he was just crushed.
Yeah.
And then it was a tactic. Coach Raveling then started him the next game, and he had like 3 or 4 steals. And
just kind of sometimes got to get their attention, young kids.
Yep. And it took off, but it took him a long time.
No, it doesn't surprise me at all, and that's probably 90% of the stories are that way. You don't, especially when you come in to this level, there's going to be stories. They're big, you want to brand. We got this big recruit, and it's like it's kind of tough to live up to a little bit. And there's a process, like I mentioned with DJ Rodman, what he went through, and DJ was more prominent because of his name, not necessarily his recruitment.
Right.
But he's been having to deal with that his whole life.
Yeah, how hard must that be? That's
only he knows, and
right.
He's got nothing else to compare it to. It's all he knows.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
So, and we were talking about the other day. I never really think about his dad. To be honest, he's just DJ to me, and I'm really proud of how much he's matured and started playing basketball too.
It's a great story. He like you said, he wasn't a huge recruit, right? And he was not unrecruited, but he was not this massive.
No. Obviously, I think the name scared some people off as much as attracted. There's you look and I sat there and said, I think he's just pretty good. I think he's a pretty good basketball player, and where we're at. And I said he really knows. He knows how to play. We can always use those guys.
Have we gotten have we cracked the crust of the surface on is he leading the nation in charges taken?
I don't know. We got to find out. But
you
know what? More importantly, what he wants to do for a living after basketball.
I don't know.
Your job.
Oh, good. Well, let's go.
Yeah, so
right.
I'm going to put in a strong recommendation.
Well, hey, now.
I like you.
Thank you. Yeah, come on, easy.
Well,
I'll give you the trivia answers before we do the segment.
I think we got to get him in the broadcast journalism. Pretty impressive here, isn't it?
It's a great school. Yeah, school's great. We'll get them all locked in.
It might be hard. It's hard to get in that school.
No doubt.
You might need some help.
Well, we'll talk.
We need to start. We need him around.
I'll pull my weight.
He might. He might like the visual media. He might like that TV.
He wants to be television. I don't blame him. Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah, I could see it.
He's going to dominate whatever he does.
He's a really, really great guy.
Yes, he is.
And he, Craig was funny. His sister was at the UNLV game, and she's been at a few.
Yeah.
And he played really well in front of his sister. And I was in the elevator. They both were in the elevator, and they're close. I think they're really, really close. And they were It must have felt like home was with him in Vegas. I mean, it had to have subconsciously felt. He played great.
No. Him and his sister are, you would think, almost twins, but they're not. They're a year apart, and they really grew up together. And she's more the dad. I mean, I would say that he would say the same. She is an alpha.
Right.
She's a
one
tiger.
Of the best soccer players
she's one of the best for her age group. One of the best in the world. Definitely the best in her age group, and she'll be national team player, and she would be in, could be the next Alex Morgan or Morgan Rapinoe, and that's pretty cool. And DJ's just made a nice career for himself here, basketball-wise, and it's a great story.
More to come. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. Order, earn, enjoy. It's that easy to earn free food and buy McDonald's rewards. Get exclusive offers and rack up rewards. Download the app today. All right, I want to get into some of these Twitter questions here, Coach.
I mentioned my mom probably listening to this thing.
Oh, good. No, I didn't know
DJ's her favorite player.
Oh, that's great.
And my mother-in-law.
I love
I don't know. He's got some. And my mother-in-law, they both love him.
Well, he plays his
I
know.
I know.
He plays like a teammate, right? He's a great teammate.
No question.
17 charges taken. He's also it's also always fun to see an undersized great rebounder.
Yes.
Right? He's not the guy you'd think would be as big as many boards as he gets.
Very similar to his.
Yeah. That might be right.
Yeah, that guy's a really good rebounder.
Right.
Yeah,
all
that's
time.
Good.
All right, Jennifer Delzer asked, great to see DJ Rodman scoring a bit more. This is
hey, Jen.
Yeah. To go. Yeah. Well, she's great.
Right on cue.
Yeah, absolutely. Go along with all the great defensive and rebounding stuff. What do you think's leading to greater offensive production?
Confidence. I think he's somewhere in there. I think actually, him and I think he might have started. He came in injured this year. We haven't talked about him. He was injured at the beginning of the year.
That's right.
We missed a lot of the fall, and he got hurt. So kind of a slow start more than that, because he was playing really well this summer, and then we had to sit him out for about 6 weeks with some tendonitis. So I think that's as much as anything, and it's just nice, like I said, the maturity, and I think a little bit like we finally when kind of got healthy, and it's like there's a synergy with those older guys, like I said, Andre and Rodman. They were last year when they played forward together. I think it was our best plus-minus group. I think I told you that before. So I just think they feed off each other a little bit, and I think it's mostly except like Coach believes in me. I'm going to go for it, and I think there's some guys respond better that way. And he's always too much always said, like, hey, DJ doesn't care if he plays 5 minutes or 30 minutes before he starts or comes off the bench. Well, maybe I was wrong. He might care about starting.
Yeah.
And he's done well, so keep it going, DJ.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Bashir wants to know, Coach, what do you see as the best way to improve the team's defensive awareness when switching from man to zone in rapid sequences through the game?
Man, that's a great one. So that guy's watched a lot of good basketball. He knows that we are trash when it comes to switching defense. Practice time would help. To be honest, we it's just we hadn't had a lot of practice time, and familiarity, like year over year, having some new faces, and we had Mike Flowers ran the point last year, and we knew it was a 1-year deal. Now we got Justin, who just. With Miles, we thought it'd be more, Miles would be the guy that those two would pair together well and be able to do that. So, just a lot on Justin's plate and being able to communicate that and do that stuff. So I think settling the rotation will help, too, a little bit, that we'll stay healthy.
Tom wants to know, Coach, how beneficial is it to have Jack Wilson practice against the Bigs?
It's awesome. We call him the Ballo Buster, so we'll see if we might need him Saturday in Tucson. He's just a big guy. Great. He's another mature, really good student, just got a great story. I've known him since, he's a junior in high school down the Bay Area, and he's great they're doing a workout with some of the younger guys, and he's in there, and he's just like, man, listen, fellas, I play, my journey's been this, and it's just very fortunate, lucky to be here, appreciate it, as his journey's somewhat coming to an end, but he's just great to have around, and good role model, great Coug.
Really, really funny moment that I observed in Eugene. He was just put on the roster.
Yeah.
And he's 6'11". Everybody knows him. He's on. You can't miss him. He's 6'11", 320.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever.
320 is.
And you're at the walkthrough in the practice center, and the guys were accentuating taking charges against him. They're flopped. So you got a drama and you got so everybody, but they were kind of joking. So they go by, they're going flying away because he's so big, right? So all the like bowling pins,
Yes, he's like a exercise Fred Flintstone.
Good hands, good feet.
Oh, good hands. He's explosive athlete.
Really good athlete.
No, it's hard to carry 320 up and down the court.
For sure. Yeah. No.
But he's got football explosive. He's really changed himself. He really got him impressive to be able to change sports and try to do what he can. And he's into studying the kinesiology and weightlifting. That's what really, when he was helping our team, he was doing a understudy like with Zach, our strength coach. It's part of his, I think when he's still at Idaho, grad school or undergrad, and he's like into that. And I think that's what he said, hey, you want to play football? And he went for it and he's got a lot of, he's really improved his quick twitch stuff and stuff. He needs to get his aerobic going for basketball.
I watched him work his tail off and playing special teams, and he was at football practice playing hard. And
awesome attitude.
Yeah, great
Loves
kid.
Being here.
Shaved the mullet, though.
I don't know what that he
Took
got
it
into him. Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, we played better since, but I like the mullet.
Yeah, look good.
He embraces this area, this part of the region of the country. He really identifies with it.
I did ask him if he envisioned WWE in his future, and or AEW, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And he said I grew up doing jiu-jitsu. My parents wouldn't. I don't know if they would really be into that. I did the real thing. I didn't
That's
fake
funny.
it.
I had no idea. That's good news to know that he has a jiu-jitsu background.
That is not a guy I'd mess with.
No. It's funny because Jake and I both have told him WWE is the way to go.
Oh,
or bail bonds bouncer. He's. What's the show? The dog?
Yeah. Bounty hunting, I think, isn't it? I might be wrong.
Bounty hunting. Whatever. Yeah. Either way, it's kind of the same thing. Bail bonds, bounty hunting. Whatever, something like that. He would be pretty intimidating.
He's the nicest guy in the world too. Him and Cody O'Connell. I don't know if you know Cody the Condit, but those two guys would get along great. Really got to get them. Aaron, we'll take a break. Come back. We're live here at Zeppo's talking about. We still need to preview this Arizona game.
Okay.
Cougars going to Tucson to take on the Wildcats in a bit.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing: chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 50 daily departures to 20 nonstop destinations provided by 6 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
This is the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
There's always time for the drive-thru deal. Because no matter how fast you are at making breakfast, McDonald's is faster.
Nothing fits your morning routine like your favorite breakfast. From a sausage McMuffin to a sausage burrito to those crisp, flaky, fluffy hash browns. Mix and match them every day with buy one, get one for $1. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Have a question for Coach Smith? Send a tweet with your thoughts to Matt Chazanow using the handle @M_Chaz. That's M_CHAZ. Now, back to Zeppos.
Cougs head to the desert, 5 o'clock tip on Thursday, 2 o'clock tip on Saturday. And so it is, I want to be clear about that. Pacific time, 5 o'clock Thursday and 2 o'clock Saturday. I apologize. I do need to take one more break. Then we're going to do this Arizona preview. That's our last segment. But I got to get this one break in. We'll do it. Cougs head to the desert. We'll take a break, come back live, talk about the Wildcats next.
We hired a real-life quarterback to tell you about Turf Club Sportsbook at Northern Quest.
Pluto! 67! Mouse Wizard left! Java Domino! The pony side flanker! 280 hot! Set hot!
It didn't work out. So, here goes. Bet, watch, and win like never before at Turf Club Sportsbook with real sports wagering, wall-to-wall HD TVs, and luxury seating in the heart of the action at Northern Quest. Turf Club Sportsbook, the ultimate game changer.
Time to redo this basement?
Yeah. A home gym, movie theater, model train utopia.
Or yoga studio?
I'm flexible-ish.
Great. I'll just use the U.S. Bank mobile app so we can plan it out.
Which way are you leaning? Setting a savings goal or applying for a home improvement loan?
I say we look at both options, right here in the app.
Budget for a really good home gym. We deserve it.
Noted.
Help for today, planning for tomorrow. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender member FDIC.
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppos. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppos is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppos.
Your one stop for all college sports is the Varsity app and the brand new Varsity Network website, thevarsitynetwork.com. Keep up with your favorite teams and the rest of college sports, no matter where you are, with thevarsitynetwork.com. Live and on-demand broadcasts, your favorite college-centric podcasts, with stories and video around college sports and your favorite teams. Be sure to download the Varsity app and check out the brand new Varsity Network website, thevarsitynetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show. Time now to look ahead at this week's game with the Coors Light Opponent Preview. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
Here live at Zeppos Talking Ball. It's our final segment. I wanted to leave a few minutes for this So we did a really quick segment before. Great to be back at it here, talking to Coach about the number one offensive team in America. According to Ken Palm and according to a lot of the numbers, 88 points a game. Arizona's 13-1. This is the Saturday game. So if you're just tuning in, we already did talk ASU. We're not overlooking the Sun Devils in any way, but it's a really hard one in McHale. Like, they're 5th in America right now. 4th, depending on your poll, 5th or 4th.
Yep.
So it's a really, really good Arizona squad.
Yeah, no, they are, and Tommy's done a really good job taking the program and really implementing his offense. You know, like I said, familiar with what he's doing. It's what Gonzaga was doing, and he's one difference between him and Mark Few is that he enjoys playing with those bigs, and they've done a great job of really centering their offense around just those guys running, throwing the ball inside, getting touches, putting a lot of pressure on your defense constantly. And their offense is their defense a little bit. So they're a good team, obviously, and at home they're great.
Those guys being Tubelis and Ballo, right? Azulis, Tubelis.
Yeah, and the ones coming in off the bench are no slouches. They're good, too. So they just give you a steady – they're going to, hey, this is our style, this is our will, this is how we're going to play. You adjust to us, and it's hard to take them out of it.
If you put your hand over the pack stats and you looked at scoring defense and only scoring defense, they're last at 72 points a game. When you look at scoring offense, you go, oh, that's a 16-point margin. Yeah. They average 88 points a game.
Is that just league games or
it's all games, and they are. But they're. I want to be clear. UCLA 79 points a game. They're 88 points a game. That much higher.
No. They're playing. They're almost like old Loyola Marymount with bigs.
Go.
Yeah. It's coming. They'll turn it over. It doesn't matter. They just keep going. Boom.
Wow. Hey, great to see everybody. Thank you, Coach.
All right,
that's our 60-second call. Really good to be back. Great to see everybody here at Zeppo's. Jared Pranguber gets us on the air, but he's the man behind the camera. Jerry Kylo is the one who always gets us all mic'd up. Luke Hallett's back in the U.S. Bank Network studios. Be back with you live on Thursday from Tempe at 4:30 at ASU. Thank you, Coach.
Go Cougs. Go Cougs.